Hello everybody, it's me, the Rule Local Maniac. I'm back again with another 8-Bit Wars. Now as you can see, today I'll be playing Kickstart 2. As always, we'll start off with the ZX Spectrum, followed by the Amstrad, and then the Commodore 64. Now Kickstart 2, basically, it's a sequel to Kickstart 1, obviously. Kickstart 1 didn't actually appear on the Amstrad and on the ZX Spectrum, but it did on the Commodore 64. So I was really looking forward to this game when when I first found out it was coming to the Amstrad and the Spectrum. Now, so what's it all about? Well, as you can see, you play this little guy on a little bike here, on a little motorbike, and you've got to go through a course, jumping over things, doing wheelies, jumping, going over things at a certain speed. Now, as you can see from the Spectrum version here, okay, it's 2 players, and it does work pretty well, but as you can see there, the bottom player is the computer-controlled player, and he's a cheating git. Basically, the Spectrum version is let down by the computer AI. It can either be one or two things. Now, if he's beating you, he will sort of cheat, go through flames, accidentally go through holes, and he won't fall over. But if he's losing by quite a bit, you'll find that he is really bad. So the AI is either really good or really bad, depending on how well you're actually doing. Now let's quickly talk about the little meter there, the little red meter on the top left corner. Now basically, the meter there is helped to tell you how fast you're going. Certain objects that you will go over, you have to go within a certain speed. Look at that. How the hell did... Oh, I was going to complain that he made it, but he didn't. Now, like, this is... Okay, if you check out the computer there, the way to get through those logs there is to have your speed at right bang on the middle. So that's the way you pace it. And for all the different versions, it varies. So when I played this, first of all, against some of my friends that had the Amstrad version, and then the Commodore 64 version, I couldn't get used to it. And it wasn't until I actually finally owned a copy of the games myself that I finally got used to the different acceleration and the way you should take the speed on this game. Not take speed in real life, that's the drug. I'm talking about the acceleration. Right, so yeah, it's a nice looking game on the ZX Spectrum. Everything's clear. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was probably one of the best games that I played. The reason being is the icing on the cake was the construction kit. Basically, you could create your own tracks, and oh my god, me and my friends used to spend hours after school creating our own tracks. And it was so much fun, we would make really impossible tracks. But back in those days, we could do it. There was I've lost all my skills in this now. Before, I'm sure I could jump over a bunch of those barrels, over a couple of flames, and then land on one of those log things. And we had so much skill back in those days. Alright, so this is the Amstrad version of Kickstart 2. It's a nice little title screen there. The guy doing, I don't know what that trick is. So I'm going to define my controls there. I'm going to go for the same setup I normally go for, which is 9 up, 8 down, 6 left, 7 right, and fire to jump, or fire to shoot, whatever. Now, like I said before, guys, all the different versions look different. The acceleration's different. Graphically, they look different as well. Now, okay, you'll notice that the graphics are pretty nice on the ZX Spectrum version. If anything, I think they look a little bit more basic, actually. They look a bit blocky there. Now, the first thing I hate about the Amstrad version here is that the motorbike doesn't really move from the left of the screen to the right of the screen. It always stays towards the end of the screen, and it's only towards the end, once you get towards the finish line, that the bike will go forward, and I don't like that. It just feels like there's no sensation of movement. It feels like the screen is moving and your bike isn't doing anything. It feels like it's static. Now again, with a little meter there, you've got to take your jumps differently. You really have to. Now, one of the things I do remember about like having all the 3 different versions, because I owned all 3 different versions, sometimes I would create the courses that were on the Spectrum version or the Commodore 64 version, and the reason why I did that was because, all the track layouts are different. So that did help to a certain extent, but like I said, guys, with the meter there, you have to take things at a different sort of acceleration rate, otherwise you'll mess up. And I'll be honest with you guys, this isn't really a good version of Kickstart 2. It's really poor, actually. Yeah, fair enough, the graphics may look nice and stuff, but there's really nothing to it. I mean, when I first played this, I was so happy that I had the Spectrum version, first of all, because I absolutely didn't like this. The Spectrum version just ruled, you know, I just thought it was like the best version ever. And then, like I said, the motorbike goes towards the end. Yeah, it just feels like there's no sense of movement in this game. Like I said, on the Spectrum version, it did feel like the screen, you know, that you were actually accelerating, that you were sort of like on this track. But in this, it just feels, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. And the graphics do feel a lot more basic. Alright guys, quickly mention, I was meant to upload this 8-Bit Wars yesterday, but for some reason my laptop didn't want to work yesterday, so I'll upload that today, and I'll upload maybe another 2 8-Bit Wars today. If not, I'll just do another one. So yeah, got that to look forward to. Yeah, not the greatest not the greatest Amstrad game, I should say. Which is a shame, because the Spectrum and the Commodore 64 version are superb. Absolutely amazing. Now, if you thought the ZX Spectrum version was amazing, check out the Commodore 64 version, which is coming up now. Now, I love the music of that. What an intro, eh? Now, guys, quickly plug the latest podcast that I'll be doing, which is In-Game Music, Episode 2. Forgot what it was called then. And basically, this will be included in one of the tracks. So it'll be a 1 hour long podcast where basically you can listen to as you're driving to work, or if you're doing a bit of housework, or working out in the gym. Listen to some game music. Alright, enough of plugging there. Now let's talk about the graphics. The graphics in this look absolutely amazing. Now, not only did you get the amazing title music, you know, on the title, but you've also got this nice little in-game music, which is really nice actually, and I think it goes well. And you get some nice sound effects as well, which was sadly missing from the other 2 versions. And like I said before, guys, again, it is all to do with the speed that you're going on the bike. Now, I'm not going to sort of like drag this out. As you probably know, this Commodore 64 version is the winner, because it's way ahead of all the other versions that I've played. Now, don't get me wrong, the ZX Spectrum version is good, it looks nice, but it's got no music, it's got no real sound, and the computer cheats like a complete total bastard, basically. And in this, basically, it doesn't, you know, if you lose because it's your fault, and if you win because you've got skill. So yeah, that's why I like this version, and it does help that the graphics look really beautiful, you know, it controls amazingly as well. It's a great little game. This is probably one of my favourite Commodore 64 games ever, and I still play it to this day. And I've actually got this game on my iPhone on the Commodore 64 app. As soon as I found out that you had it on that, I had to get it. It controls not as well as it does, you know, like on a joystick or on a, you know, keyboard. But, you know, again, certain games work well on the iPhone, certain games don't. But all in all, this is an amazing Commodore 64 game, probably one of my favourites. It just works. It really does work. Now, honestly, if the Spectrum owners hadn't played this before, they probably would think that they had like an amazing version. And rightly so, because they do have a good version. But compared to this, you know, it really is nothing. Now, not a lot of you think, oh, I'm a Spectrum fanboy, whatever, that I always pick the Spectrum. But that's not always the case, you know. I go about gameplay, the way a game looks, the way it feels, and this feels absolutely fantastic. Alright guys, so the winner of today's 8-Bit Wars is the Commodore 64. I'm the Real Locomaniac. Goodbye.